Honesty, probably the most important thing. Well, that's what I believe, but I wouldn't be fully honest if I wouldn't fully disclose my past and what I did, my problems, and maybe some good things about me too. As far as I can remember, I had kind of a procrastination problems. I never wanted to do stuff for school because most of the tasks for school I didn't kind of see the future. Yeah, for example, like history was kind of interesting to study. Yeah, maybe physics too, but then in school we're going so slow that it was kind of too boring. And in some extracurricular way, I had many interests my entire life, and to this day adding more. For example, I started experimenting with gardening recently and constantly kind of learning new things. That's what I love, but I didn't like the school form. But the school didn't matter here because I had, of course, a lot of time outside of the school. And fortunately, I used this time, at least the last few years, mostly for less productive tasks. It was mostly learning, but then it was also a lot of watching movies, watching series, and so on. And the lack of execution was kind of my biggest problem. I think I always had and still have bigger potential than average person does because of my huge goals. But try set kind of standards very high for me. This kind of perfectionism then leads to lack of execution for me many times, and I think this is like kind of the biggest problem because you fear of losing or having some bad outcome, but you at least learn from it, and from the execution you learn pretty much the most. But the way I was learning, I was studying kind of examples from other people, what they did, and then internet just offers you so many videos or articles and researches about just about any topic you think of. I had idea something like dropshipping like probably around 5 years ago. I was like a small kid. I just didn't know about Shopify. I think it already existed back then. I just didn't know something like that existed, and I literally just wanted to. I saw on AliExpress that there are some cheap products, and I was like, well, this costs $1 or $2 to ship from China anywhere in the world. How about I sell this product for 5, 10, 20 maybe bucks, which I think this product is worth and some people would definitely pay for, then just order it for them from that AliExpress right away. That was my idea, and only way I found was like some startup Indiegogo page, because I didn't know any other way outside of programming entire store, which would be too difficult to risk and hard to set up for me at that age at least. So I wanted to make Indiegogo campaign, but I ended up not doing it, which might be good actually because it was kind of scammy. It wasn't really startup, but yeah. I did like few sneaker flips. I went on these releases. It was more of a hanging out with friends kind of fun thing. And also, for example, ordered from AliExpress some VR headset when I saw that this VR was coming up trend before, when just Samsung or these bigger companies had like that phone VR headset that were like $150 or something like that. So I was like, if I sell this for $20, people will probably buy them, right? And I ordered it from China for maybe $10, but then there were taxes and shipping and all these extra costs when you order not just a single product from AliExpress but from Alibaba, and it then ended up costing me I think like 15 plus bucks per one VR headset. It's just plastic. I ended up selling most of them, but didn't really. It wasn't very profitable and it was hard to sell, and yeah, but it was kind of interesting to try out. I learned something from it for sure. So I had a lot of this interest in many different things, from like this business oriented stuff through science to now gardening, for example. I never really executed on them in a way that could kind of bring me cash flow. For example, photography and videography and this kind of creative thing is a great example of that. I'm photographing, I don't know, since I can remember basically, and in small childhood I was interested in photography. Then I had some professional like photography courses and stuff like that. So I know how to photograph pretty relatively well, I would say, and I didn't really execute on that enough and did make photos from some school events, from family events. I didn't really start selling photos, for example, which I still can, and I think this would give me more of that hustle and business practicality, which would teach me a lot. So if you're like younger kid, like some 14-year-old or something, I would recommend you trying all these sort of things, even if you don't earn really money. If you earn 10-20 bucks, it doesn't matter. It's like the best way to learn is to kind of execute and to try out these things, because how do you know what do you really love unless you try it? And if you try many things, then you can find out one thing that you truly love, you are obsessed about, and you can build a huge business around it. They will help people in that niche, or they will create some product in that niche, whatever it is. It might be tech, you might create phone or something. It might be some camera and photography, so we might create course for people, or some school for people, or maybe some accessory for camera that photographers need. There's a lot of space for that, I would say. I always had amazing excuses why not. I had the school, I had some extracurriculars outside of the school, and didn't have enough time and so on. This is bullshit. If Elon Musk can run like 5-10 companies and still has enough time for his 5 kids, how come you don't have enough time? It's straight up bullshit. Any excuse is bullshit, really. If it doesn't matter where you start, you can start in total shithole without internet, without access to water and so on. And if you're a true hustler, you could get out of there. But if you start just throwing out excuses, yeah, it's fucking shitty situation. Yeah, it's way worse than everybody probably else has. Maybe, but that excuses won't move you forward. They won't get you to your goal. They're just getting you further, because it's basically wasting your time as one of the most valuable resources you have, instead of putting it towards your goal. And that's one of the very big things to realize, that you have just very limited time, so use it wisely. Let's fast forward now what I did. Thanks to like this quarantine and this corona thing, I kind of finished my high school or IB sooner. Yeah, it's cool first few weeks and so on, but then I didn't have school. I was learning some things like for school and so on, but I had more free time than I had in like years and years. So it kind of washed away all the excuses, and then after maybe a few weeks as the school was finishing, of procrastinating too much for what is it worth, but I ended up starting stock investing. That's probably one of the best things I did. It's stock investing. I was looking at stocks for many years by now, probably like 5+ years for sure, almost every day, checking this Apple, Microsoft news about it and so on. I always loved these big tech stocks because there was something I was interested in, the technology and how exponentially it can grow, how much it influences people, because like 100 years ago, Nikola Tesla just kind of introduced and promoted AC, and since then, just because of this kind of electricity practicality, we created some computers, and tens of years later, we have smartphones, which is literally just like less than 15 years ago. We didn't have even smartphones like we do now with the apps, internet and all that. In 15 years, technology has become from basically nothing, no phones, social media a few hours every day, YouTube where you can learn any knowledge you want, Reddit where you can talk about any topic with the entire world anonymously pretty much, and just so many cool websites, blogs, so much information accessible to basically everybody. And plus the communication, the speed of the communication. You can have live video call with pretty much anyone, anywhere in the world. Thousands of miles away, you have live video call. If that's not amazing, I don't know what is. And this happening in 15 years from computers being not very good back then. Even if you take it like 50, 100 years, what it is compared to our human civilization, evolution, is nothing. Okay, but this stock investing, I think that's cool. I want to make some videos about that. Yeah, check out that video that I will make soon. Started doing like some social media, and that was over last year. And now in 2020, I started also this YouTube channel. I hope to make at least one video weekly. I think I can do that. yeah, probably that's it. I would like to start many more things like podcasts, which I want to do for many years. There are just many things that I want to start, and I started working on them. For first time, I really started executing on some things, and it feels amazing. I, for example, started some dropshipping store. I'm working on it, but then it turns out that running Facebook ads isn't as easy because all that system isn't that easy. But also, if you put in that time, you can learn. By this practical execution, you can learn way more than just from the theory, and you can actually maybe earn some money. And when you have that money, you multiply them, for example, in stock market, and eventually with a lot of money you can create real progress and help to all the people, which I think that's kind of that ultimate happiness boost, is by helping everybody. If you help entire human civilization, that's kind of my ultimate goal, and I think that should be everyone's ultimate goal, because imagine you have like billions. You can buy anything, you buy everything, and you still have billions. You can buy anything else that comes out. It's not even interesting because you already have products that will come out for regular people a few years or a few decades later. Maybe never will be available to regular people. There's some things that most of people won't even imagine can exist. Only further thing you can do is help all that other people get a bit further towards where you are and where all these successful people are, and towards developing entire world further. The ultimate goal would be all the people not working, and well, I'm gonna actually make about this a video how I think the future will be, and see you in the next one. I hope this boost of honesty was a great thing for you, and hope you like this video. Bye.